בסייעתא דשמיא נעשה ונצליח. Today the shiur is going to be Le'ilu Nishmat Eliezer Cohen ben Angela Natan ben Zoya. And it's also going to be Refuah Shlema Chaim Hillel ben Rivka. And also for the bזכות of Am Yisrael to do תשובה שלמה בקרוב. When the Shabbat queen comes to the house, when Shabbat comes, it comes with a very great, very tremendous group. Now this group contains and includes malachim, it includes the extra soul that we get, blessings and healing that are spiritual and physical, and the most important thing that also is included in Shabbat is the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah rests in a place that whenever Shabbat comes and the people keep Shabbat correctly, all these things come together with it. It's a whole entire company. Now, if only we could sense these type of things, this feeling of the extra soul, the malachim, the angels next to us, and the blessings. Now, there are some people that do feel it. As we said before in a few shiurim ago. Now, if we don't sense, if we have a lacking that we can't sense the extra soul, the neshama yitera, then we need to improve the preparation of the Shabbat, how we prepare for it and how we observe the holiness of the day. The way to feel the joy, sometimes whenever someone's even keeping Shabbat, sometimes they don't feel the happiness. They keep it, sometimes they sleep the whole day. It's better than breaking Shabbat, but to actually have the feeling of Shabbat and to enjoy it, you actually have to put preparation into it. How do you actually, what's one way that you, let's say for example, how does someone actually take actually can enjoy something that they do? If, let's say for example, if someone pays to get their kitchen done, they paid for it, okay, good, but whenever the kitchen is done, they treat it like a normal kitchen, like they moved in. But if they actually worked on the kitchen themselves, they actually worked on it, they actually they measured everything, part by part, put the wood in themselves, everything themselves, then they're much more careful with it. As, like for example, that's why a mother loves the kids so much. A parent, they love the kids so much because they put effort into it. Whenever times are hard, times are tough, they still took up with it. That's why they love it so much. So whenever, to feel the enjoyment of Shabbat, you actually have to spend a lot of time to prepare for it. So we have to be able to observe it carefully whenever it comes and to prepare it ahead of time. Not right away whenever Shabbat is about to come in, then we get ready. What's one example we could get of this? For the Mishkan, for the Beit HaMikdash. Whenever they were doing the preparation for Yom Kippur, it was done a week in advance, more. A week in advance, let's go a week in advance, they took the Kohen Gadol away from his wife. They took him away from his wife and put him in a separate place. They put him away from his wife, and also they had another Kohen Gadol just in case, a spare, you could say, just in case if he died or something happened to him that he couldn't do the avodah. They had a substitute Kohen Gadol. So for the whole week before Yom Kippur, 2 Talmidei Chachamim, 2 Torah scholars, would go with him and study and practice the whole avodah with him. Finally before Yom Kippur, they would go over to him and they would tell him, they say, we adjure you by he who rested his name on this temple, that you will not deviate an iota from what we have told you. Meaning that even the same way that we practiced over here, the same way that we learned over here, you do not move, you do not change anything from what you learned, from what we went through. Do everything exactly the way it is. So they would finish, he would turn to a corner and he would start crying. And they would also turn over and start crying. He would turn over because of what he was going to do, of how he was supposed to get Am Yisrael, how he was supposed to be the lawyer for the whole Am Yisrael to get atonement. And they were crying because they suspected him, they were scared. Maybe he's going to do something, maybe he's going to change something, even accidentally. And on the night of Yom Kippur, they didn't even let him go to sleep. Because of Tumah reasons and everything. They didn't let him sleep. It's such a holy day that, just in case, don't even sleep, stay up the whole night. Now Shabbat is also a day of atonement. It's not only Yom Kippur. In Shabbat, our homes become the Kodesh Kodashim, the Holy of Holies. The Shekhinah comes down where we are, in the Shabbat table, Smirot, everything. And we are the Kohen Gadol. We're the Kohanim Gdolim doing the service, during the Avodah. How can't we prepare in advance for this holy day, a week in advance? Now imagine if the Kohen Gadol, before Yom Kippur, what is he going to say? Imagine he says, why do I need to prepare for this a whole week? Whole week I'm going to prepare for this, go crazy. Nah, I have plenty of time. I already did it last year, I did it many years before. Yeah, it's okay, listen, don't go so crazy. A week, this is too much time. We'll do it the day before, 2 days, whatever it is. What's going to happen? The morning before Yom Kippur, he's going to come, he's going to say, he's going to start screaming. He's going to push people around, he's going to knock everybody over. He's going to be screaming, where's my turban, where's my turban, I can't find my turban, I can't find this, I can't find that. He's going to be so frantic, so going crazy. Now, you're going to look at this guy, and you're going to tell, would we take this guy seriously, that we're going to let him be our lawyer for Yom Kippur to get atonement? If he dies, it's a very bad thing. If he messes up, we would say, listen, let the other guy do it, we'll fire him. We say, get away from here, he's going to do it. The substitute. Now, every single day, we're supposed to remember Shabbat. We're supposed to remember Shabbat, how it says, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekodsho. We want to remember the Shabbat day to sanctify it, says. We have to prepare the Shabbat from the beginning of the week. Since it says Zachor Shabbat, so we have to remember Shabbat every single day. How do we remember? What's one way? We prepare for it. We remember, okay, it's Sunday right now. Oh look, this is a good thing, I'm going to keep it for Shabbat. Who did this? Shammai did this. Shammai, every single day, Shammai ate for the honor of Shabbat. How do you eat for the honor of Shabbat? That he would find something good in the market, and he would say, this is good. I want to keep this. I'm going to keep this for Shabbat. I'm going to keep this for Shabbat. Then the next day, he would see another good thing. He would say, oh, this is better than this one. Okay, fine. I'm going to eat this one, the first one that I said for Shabbat, and since this one's better, I'm going to keep it for Shabbat. Every day that he had, he says, I want to keep for Shabbat. I want to keep this one for Shabbat. Sunday he found a nice something, whatever it was, he would say, I'm going to keep this for Shabbat. In Shacharit, we see that we call the days of the week, we say, today is the first day of Shabbat. Today is the first day, today is the second day, third day. Hayom Yom Echad v'Shabbat, Sheni v'Shabbat, whatever it is. Every day we say, today is the first day of Shabbat, the second day of Shabbat. Meaning that Shabbat already starts in the beginning of the week. We're remembering it every single day, and then once we get to Shabbat, it's a countdown every week. Now, if Eliyahu Navi would be a guest at your house, Eliyahu Navi, imagine the Gadol Hador will come to your house this Shabbat. You hear Gadol Hador is coming to your house. What would you do? You would prepare for a month before. A month before, you hear Rav Yitzhak Yosef is coming to town. Very big Rav. Rav Kanievsky is coming to your house in a month on Shabbat. You're going to say, I'm doing everything possible to make this the best Shabbat ever. Now, Shabbat, the Shabbat queen, is so much more important than any Gadol Hador, than Eliyahu Navi. How do we see this? Because the Gadol Hador, Eliyahu Navi has to keep Shabbat also. They have to honor Shabbat the same way. Shabbat is much more important than Eliyahu Navi. So we have to, whenever Shabbat comes, we have to say, Shabbat is coming, Shabbat is coming, Shabbat. It's the greatest thing. Now, let's bring an example. If someone's in-laws would come for the first time to their house, they live in Israel and the parents are coming from America, what would they do? 2 weeks before they come, they would start making decisions of what has to be done, this, that, whatever. Should we take out the best china? Should we buy new ones maybe? They're going to bring out the calendar. Okay, this is what's going to be done on this day. They bring paper, pens, charts, whatever it is, checklists. We have this, we don't have this, we have to buy this new. What do we have to do to make it a nice experience for them? What needs to be bought? What furniture needs to be moved? Maybe we move the couch so that we can make the table longer or something. Put this away, clean this, wash this, cook this, bake this, whatever it is. They go crazy. Now Shabbat is much more. How come we don't use checklists and all these type of things? We don't go crazy for Shabbat. It should be Shabbat. Shabbat. We should have whole entire checklist. This one buys the wine. This one takes the light bulb out of the refrigerator. This one puts the tissues in the bathroom. This one, whatever it is. This one takes out the garbage from the week. This one puts in a new garbage. Vacuums the floor of all the rooms. Whatever it is. You have a list. Yeah, everybody should be taking a part of Shabbat preparations. As we can see, the Chachamim also did it. The Chachamim didn't just learn. It was Shabbat. Shabbat was the best day for them. Rabbi Abahu would go and fan the fire so that it would be nice and hot on Shabbat. Rav Safra would singe the head of the animal so there shouldn't be any hair over there, that they could eat it normally. Rava would salt the fish. Rav Huna would light extra candles so it would be nice on Shabbat. Rav Papa would personally make the wicks for his Shabbat candles. Rabba and Rav Yosef would go chop firewood for the fireplace. Rav Zera would fan the fire also, like Rav Abahu. Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak would carry out all the muktzah items from his house. This is in Masechet Shabbat 119a. They would do it for Shabbat. You think that Chachamim, they're learning all the time. No. Chachamim understood what Shabbat was. They understood that it's Shabbat. Shabbat queen is coming. The Shekhinah is coming with Shabbat. This whole company is coming with Shabbat. Now you can't to understand this. You say, listen, it's a lot of work. I can't do all this on Friday. You're right. You can't do this on Friday. You have to start a week before. You have to start on Sunday. Right away, Shabbat ends. Right away, okay, what do I have to do for the next Shabbat? What do I have to prepare? What do I have to think about? Who can I invite? Who can I this? Who can I that? To make Shabbat great. Sometimes the problem is laziness. We're lazy sometimes. And laziness leads to pushing things off. Procrastination. We say, I'll do it later. In the end, Friday comes, and guess what? We still don't do it. We wait until 2-3 hours before Shabbat, then we're like, okay, listen, I gotta take a shower now. 5 kids in the house. I gotta take a shower. No, I want to take a shower. Everybody's fighting for the shower. What's happening? Because of all this, they get into a panic. This last person didn't take a shower. Or the father didn't take a shower because he wanted to give the kids, the kids smelled because the whole week they didn't take a shower, whatever it is. So he gave it to take a shower, then he didn't take a shower. Because of that, now he has to... So everybody's in panic last minute if they procrastinate. Push everything to the last minute. Now Hashem expects us to do things differently. The Prophet Hosea says, V'neda nirdefa ladat et Hashem. He says, let us chase after knowledge of Hashem. And David HaMelech also says, Derech mitzvotecha arutz. He says, on the path of your commandments I should run. Now, Hashem wants us to run after His mitzvot. He doesn't want us to just, I'll do it whenever I can. Not push everything to the last minute. Now, if we are lax in what Hashem tells us, in serving Hashem, then what's the midah keneged midah, the measure for that? Okay, fine, when we're in trouble, we need Hashem. He's also going to be lax. He's also going to be, okay, fine, listen, don't worry, I'll do it later. Right before the brink of you losing your job or something, then I'll save you. Why? Why didn't you just do it before? Oh, why didn't you just do it before also? He says, you were lax with me, I'll be lax with you. I'll respond to your prayers in the end. How does the Gemara prove this? Proves it with the verse. With the verse in Mishle 24:10, it says, Itrapita biyom tzara tsar kochecha. It says, you have become lax. On the day of your trouble, your strength will be diminished. Because you became lax, all your strength you will lose all your strength. Now, Rabbi Yagen tells a story about one woman that went into labor, and her condition was very bad and was life-threatening, and her family felt very bad for her. They sent her name to Rabbanim to pray for her. They said, please pray for my family, labor, this, that. One Rav said, okay, I'll pray for her, but I also sent her a message. She says, he said, I know why you're in danger, why you have this problem. He said, because your life is in danger because you light Shabbat candles the last moment right before sunset, right before Shabbat comes in. He says, fix this problem and everything's going to be okay. The woman got the note, got the message, and she says, you know what? I'll admit, you're right. You're right, and no problem. I'll take it upon myself to be more careful on this. To be more careful to light it on time. Now, suddenly, right when she made this thing that she took it upon herself, automatically her condition became better, and she gave birth safely to a healthy child. Now, if you would prepare for your own wedding, would you wait for the last minute? Would you wait for the the day of your wedding? You're going to whatever, chill with your friends. You're doing whatever you want, and then whatever 5 o'clock, 2 hours before the chuppah, then you start. Okay, fine. Listen, now I'm gonna put on the suit, gonna this, whatever it is. Guess what? Shabbat is also your wedding. Shabbat is your wedding. As we say in Lecha Dodi, we say Boi Chala, Boi Chala. Shabbat Malketa. Come, my bride, the Shabbat queen. It's your wedding. Shabbat is your wedding. Now, Shabbat came in 1 in 50 years. We would spend 50 years doing it. How is this like? We would spend 50 years preparing for it. What is it like? It's like whenever a little girl, you see sometimes little girls, what do? They like to plan their wedding whenever they're 5. Like to plan their wedding. Oh, my wedding is going to be like this. It's going to have this. This is going to be here. This is going to be there. I'm going to have a nice white dress. She starts making the whole entire scene. She already knows exactly what she wants. This is how we have to be for Shabbat. We have to be like this little girl. It's always the little girls that always show the biggest, deepest message of Shabbat. How I said this is the story about the 4-year-old girl a few shiurim ago. Now, whenever we prepare last minute preparations are the worst enemy. And why is it? Why is it the worst enemy? Because it makes us liable to chas v'shalom end up desecrating Shabbat. Sometimes people feel so rushed, they start rushing, going crazy, and what do? They say, I need a comb, I need to brush my hair. They do the hairbrush, and one hair gets pulled out. That's it. Chilel Shabbat. Shabbat came in, they put the brush, they take out one hair, that's it. They end up desecrating Shabbat because they put everything to the last minute. Why we have to put it to the last minute? Why are we afraid, chas v'shalom, that we're going to break Shabbat, the children will break Shabbat? Something is going to happen. Or, okay, fine, if we're very careful, listen, once I know that even if it's a minute before Shabbat, I stop, I drop everything. My hair is halfway done, okay, or something, whatever it is. I'm still cooking some food. I'll stop right there. No, I'm not breaking Shabbat. What's the problem now? Now, that's it. Something's going to be left undone. What is it going to happen? Now we're going to be upset on Shabbat. It's going to mess up the whole peace and the whole joy of Shabbat. So, also, working on the Shabbat, as Shabbat comes in, it's very exhausting, it's very tiring. Now 20 years from now, whenever every single Shabbat, right before Shabbat, you're actually doing everything, trying to do it as soon as possible. 20 years from now, your children are going to see every week you're doing this. 20 years from now, they're not going to remember you were tired on Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever. They're going to remember whether you were happy on Shabbat. They're going to remember whether you had a smile on your face. And this smile, this happiness, would help guarantee that they actually observe Shabbat whenever they go older. And not become like, oh, my parents were always upset on Shabbat, so I don't want to keep Shabbat. They're going to see your face on Shabbat. This is the happiest day of the whole week. They're going to see your faces glowing. This is a very big thing that's going to ensure that they will keep Shabbat in the future. Now there was one time where Rabbi Yagen had a student that he visited one time on Friday morning. And he was surprised. Why? Because the student that he had, his wife was serving small samples of the chicken, of the small side dishes that they had. What was it from? From Shabbat, from the Shabbat food that they were going to have tonight. He went to the kitchen, he saw 4 big pots of food, everything cooked, everything ready. The table already set for Shabbat. everything, the chalot already cooked, everything, they weren't going crazy, everything was prepared. He was surprised. He was like, this is great, this is amazing. Now we could also understand, we could also do it, but we have to understand the importance of preparing in advance for Shabbat. We have to understand what is Shabbat, and we can't just last minute. The Shulchan Aruch in Siman Resh Nun in 250, it says that everybody is obligated to wake up earlier than they usually on Friday morning to prepare what he needs for Shabbat. It says even if he has many servants to help him, he has people to help him, he should still take part in the preparation for Shabbat. Now, ordinarily, if someone wants to do something before Shacharit, before they pray in the morning, it's asur. You cannot do whatever you want. You cannot do your things before Shacharit. However, the Mishnah Berurah says that to prepare for Shabbat is allowed. Is allowed before Shacharit. If you won't be able to do it properly to do it afterwards. For example, if you go to the store and the store might be out of chalot by the time after Shacharit, then you could go and buy the chalot before Shacharit, before you pray Shacharit. Or if there's certain salads, there's a certain whatever it is, a certain food, a certain spice, whatever it is that is going to be gone by the time you finish Shacharit, you can go before Shacharit and buy it. So now, why is this allowed? It should be like the other things, no? The Mishnah Berurah explains that the needs of Shabbat, why are they allowed? Because they're cheftzei shamayim, meaning they're for the purpose of a mitzvah. They're the needs of heaven. So basically saying that the challah, the fish, the meat, and all the desserts or whatever someone wants for Shabbat has a dimension that's divine, has a certain divinity to it. Now, especially in the winter, whenever the afternoons are short, Shabbat comes in earlier, the halakha says that you should do as much preparation for Shabbat even on Thursday. Even on Thursday to do it. You can do it even before Friday, to be ready for Shabbat. That you should be on time for Shabbat. It's also a mitzvah to taste a little bit of the food for Shabbat. Now it doesn't mean you should have a whole entire meal. You should have a whole entire thing. Taste. Make sure that it's seasoned. Make sure that whenever you have it for Shabbat, it's not going to ruin your whole Shabbat. You're going to see that it has enough salt, enough spice. It's good tasting. Now this is hinted in the words of our tefillot, of our prayers, in Musaf, in the paragraph of Tikanta Shabbat. It says, To'ameha Chaim Zachu. Those who tasted shall merit life. Now, sometimes, some of us, whenever we have guests for Shabbat, what do? We have a whole entire beautiful, lavish meal for Shabbat, but whenever it's just family, what do? We lower it. We say, okay, fine, listen, a few salads here, this, that, whatever it is, it's enough. This right here, Rabbi Yagen says, this is a mistake. Rabbi Yagen says this is a mistake. So why? Because the mitzvah is to honor Shabbat. It's not to honor people. It's nothing to do with impressing the people. People are gonna come, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna prepare a nice thing, and right now they're gonna say, "Wow, look how he does for Shabbat." Well, regardless, Shabbat is here. Shabbat is the guest. Shabbat is the guest. Even a one time that someone fails to honor Shabbat is a very significant thing. We can learn this out from one-time failure of reciting Kriyat Shema. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot 63 It says that someone who normally says Shabbat every day, but skips one day, skips one time to say Shema, it's as if he never said it at all. Get this? It's as if he never said. He says it every day. This day he didn't want to do it. It's as if he never said it. Why? What happened? What happened to all other times? He never said it. Rav Aaron Kotler, one of the Gdolei Ashkenaz in the past generation, he says, what is Shema? Shema is Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, Hashem is our God, Hashem is one. Now what are you doing whenever you say Shema? You are accepting the kingship of Hashem. So skipping one time shows the whole attitude, shows your whole attitude of accepting Hashem's kingship. It shows that it's flawed, it's messed up a little bit. That every other day you do it, great, but now you decided not to do it. So it shows, okay, fine, you're not really accepting Hashem as king. How do you see this? Rabbi Yagen always used to say, he said, bring a mashal of, let's say, for example, if there's a wife that has this big party, what's she going to do to the wife, to the husband? She says, oh, I like this dress, please buy me this dress. Crazy. This one party, this dress is $25,000, whatever, a lot of money, $25,000. No, buy the dress, buy it, please. Okay, fine, and then he buys it. She's so happy, this, that, everything. Few hours before the party, the guy is over there smoking a cigarette. Misken, he didn't do tשובה for smoking a cigarette yet. He's smoking. And what does he do? He says, you know what? He puts the cigarette on the dress, a small hole, it burns a hole in the dress. She comes home, she sees the hole, she goes crazy. No, I'm not wearing the dress, I'm not going. He says, what's the big deal? It's one hole, it's one thing. It's even in a place that no one really sees. It's on the body, it's on the whatever. No, I'm not going, I don't want to wear this dress, it's nothing. $25,000 dress. Nothing. Because there's one small hole over there. The hole is not just the hole. The hole is the whole dress. The whole dress is ruined. The whole dress is ruined. The same way with our Shema. And the same way with Shabbat. If we lower the standard of honoring Shabbat even one time, what does it mean? It means we don't understand bichlal about honoring Shabbat or honoring Hashem. That small little mistake, that small little flaw, it cannot be erased from all the other times we did it. It's a whole dress, but it's ruined from that one thing. You cannot say, okay, maybe you put a patch over there, and then no one's going to see. No, the dress is ruined. Doesn't want to put it on anymore. Now imagine if Shabbat came only once in a lifetime. One time in your whole life you could keep Shabbat. What type of happiness, excitement we would have when that time came. Say Shechianu, we would be so happy, we would have such joy, such enthusiasm, happiness, amazement, and fear for such an awesome day. We'll say, wow, it's such a great day. I'm scared to chas v'shalom break the day. Such an amazing day. This is how Hashem wants us to view Shabbat every week, with honor of Shabbat, with the value, and to appreciate it, regardless of whether you have guests or you're going to be just a small quiet Shabbat with the family. He wants us to have this feeling every week, every Shabbat, from the beginning of the week, from Sunday. In a few days it's going to be Shabbat. We just got out of a Shabbat. No, but it's going to be again, and then another one. Every week is another feeling, another happiness of Shabbat. Now, whenever they were building the Mishkan, everything that was done for the Mishkan had to be done for the sake of Hashem. As it says, "Va'asul li mikdash." They should make me a sanctuary, meaning for the sake of my name. Rashi says, for the sake of Hashem. The same way that whenever you buy food for Shabbat, you should say Lichvod Shabbat, Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. This food is for Shabbat. It's not for my stomach, my this, my that, It's for Shabbat. Because yes, I'm going to eat it and I'm going to enjoy it. But it's for Shabbat. Whenever we do something, any type of action for Shabbat, to prepare for Shabbat, we say Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. We're cooking, we say Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. We're polishing the shoes to make it look nice and shiny, Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. Taking a shower, Lichvod Shabbat. Everything Lichvod Shabbat. We're changing the baby's diapers, Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. Everything Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. Not if we have guests for Shabbat, what do we say? We say all this effort is Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh. We don't say this is for the guests. The kid wants to take a little bit of candy. No, hey, don't touch it. It's for the guests. Not for the guests. It's for Shabbat. Let the kid have. Let the kid have. It's not for the guests. It's for Shabbat. Saying Lichvod Shabbat Kodesh is very, very powerful. It has very powerful impact in the spiritual worlds. What does it do? It connects the item or the action of preparing for Shabbat. It connects it to Shabbat, to the holiness of Shabbat. Now the Ben Ish Chai tells the lady of the house, tells the wife, that her power of speech has the power to bring Kedusha to the Shabbat table. What does he say? He says, when the lady of the house arranges the bread on the table, she should put a cloth over the bread and a cloth under the bread. And then after, puts both of her hands on the table and says, "Vaydaber elai zeh hashulchan asher lifnei Adonai." He said to me, say this pasuk, he said to me, this is the table which is in the presence of Hashem. By saying these words, she brings a whole influx of spirituality, sanctity on the table. Brings whole entire holiness onto the table. Now, in the memory of the man, what's with this two cloths, one above, one on the bottom? In the memory of the man, it was covered with 2 layers of dew. One layer was on the bottom, one layer was on top. So that's why on Shabbat we have 2 chalot, 2 breads, 2 loaves of bread, and we put them we have one cloth under, usually it's a tablecloth, and then we have another cloth on top. Now the Ben Ish Chai brings, and he says, to have 12 chalot on the table. Not only 2, 12. Why? Because it corresponds to the lechem apanim, to the showbreads of the Mishkan. Now, some do it in a different way. They have 2 breads, but they braid it with 6 braids. So it's going to be 12 within 2. Now, B'ezrat Hashem, we should be zoche to understand the importance of Shabbat and keep it the way that Hashem Yitbarach wants us to keep it. And we should start much before, in the beginning of the week. Start on Sunday and follow the example of Shammai, that he every single day he says this is going to be for Shabbat, this is going to be for Shabbat. Every single day, remember Shabbat. The whole entire purpose of the week is Shabbat. B'ezrat Hashem. Amen. Kein Yeh Ratzon.